In 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Jeff Frick here, coming to you from Austin, Texas. Work 20XX is on the road. We're back at Running Remote for our second year because this is a place where, although the conversations are initially focused on people running distributed teams, actually most of the lessons are very applicable, whether you're running a distributed team or a hybrid team where everybody's back in the office. What we want to find out is how do you do it better? And we're really excited to have in our next guest. She's Lucy Stein, the VP of People at Givebutter. Lucy, great to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much. Good to meet you.
Absolutely. So for people that aren't familiar with Givebutter, give us the 101.
Yeah, Givebutter is a fundraising CRM marketing platform for nonprofits. So we work with mostly small to medium sized, some startup nonprofits to help them fundraise, be change makers, manage their donor data, send emails, text messages, do events and auctions, all kinds of things. So we try to be their home for nonprofits.
So the nonprofits are your customers.
Correct.
And then they use your platform to raise money.
Yes, correct. And we are free for nonprofits to use. We have a tipping model, and then we have a platform fee as well if nonprofits choose to not use tipping.
And you just said that you guys just passed a giant milestone in terms of donations raised through the platform.
Yeah, $10 billion in donations through the platform, some of those online, some of those offline. In 10 years, it's our 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
So, 10-10.
That's got to feel amazing to see that much good being done through your platform.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
So you were there pretty much at the beginning. I think I read in my notes you were there when there was like 10 people.
Yep,
now
employee
there's
number
200.
7. Yep.
You got to build the culture from the ground up. So give it a kind of a blank slate. What was your philosophy? What did you? What was your goal?
I mean, I credit a lot of the culture building and philosophy to our CEO and our CTO. This was their first gig. This is their first company they founded, and they had a lot of radical ideas, if you will, when we first started. One of them being bringing people on pretty early. I came from an executive recruiting background. I'd never done HR before. But executive recruiting is very high touch. It is really personal, it is fast paced, it is high stakes, and I brought a lot of that philosophy into the hiring at Givebutter. And when you start out at a company that small, you're doing anything you can to get a talent pipeline, to get candidates interested, to get candidates take you seriously. And one of the first things we really ironed out and needed to work on was having a handbook. Our CEO very much believed that having a handbook, having it easily digestible, not full of legal jargon, was critical. And then as I realized, if you have a handbook, you have to fill it with things, right? So, we have basic benefits, but our CEO wanted to talk about a philosophy on meetings and what it meant to be remote and how you showed up at work when you were remote. Do we have cameras on? What does diversity mean at Givebutter? And then that kind of spiraled. We, realized pretty quickly and pretty early on that we wanted values and we wanted them really codified throughout our entire employee experience. And so, I credit a lot of it to our CEO and our CTO, and I was there to help with a lot of the execution.
Awesome. I got to ask, did you use any of the GitLab stuff for your playbook?
Oh my gosh, yes, we did. Yes, GitLab. There are a couple of others. There's something called the Manager's Toolkit that was built on Notion that was really cool. We really adopted a lot of that early on. GitLab helped a lot, especially when I was like, man, what does it mean to have like a name whatever compliant policy? Like, we were really learning as we were going. So GitLab helped a lot of open source handbooks, and it's why our handbook is now open source too. It's right on our careers page. We send it to all of our candidates. We're really intentional about that. So thanks, GitLab.
I love it. I just love the open source ethos. I think that's such a cool part of the tech community that I don't know that everyone appreciates how much of open source ethos there is and the sharing of great information. And Darren and the team that put that thing together is amazing. And for those that don't know, it's a playbook that basically outlines the way you guys do business as a company, right? The way we show up, the way we communicate, whether you should put something in a Slack or put it in an email or put it in ever. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Some of the philosophies that you pulled out: radical transparency.
Yes.
And no assholes, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And wired for fun.
So
I wonder if you could share why those things are important to you, and then how do you execute them and make sure everybody else is not only reading it, but actually living it.
I mean, I'll start with the first one. So radical transparency. As an HR leader, I loved that our CEO championed clear is kind. And we've taken that to like the nth degree. So we do an all hands every week. You know, I heard Nick talk earlier, Nick from Help Scout talk earlier about a company that is, I don't know, a couple hundred employees, and they still do an all hands every week. I think that's so important. And in that all hands, our finance team shares how we're tracking towards our revenue goals. I think that is so important. It builds trust, and it helps reinforce trust in leadership, which is so important. No assholes. You know, I've heard that this is a spicy take that some companies have, that it can sometimes like breed this world where like people can be very direct and say, well, we say no assholes. I think it's really about what you put into this. You know, in a remote company where everything leans to Slack, and there was a lot of talk early on about like, let's be async, you know, cut meetings. Having no assholes was so important because so much is lost in written communication that you don't get IRL. And we've really had to enforce like positive intentions, assume positive intent. And I think, you know, I'll call him out again. Nick said it too. If he even recognizes, and this is so true at Givebutter, if they recognize an ounce of emotion coming through a Slack message, like jump on a huddle, jump on a conversation, have that conversation IRL. But yeah, assume positive intent is big for us.
And I think that's hard for a lot of people, and it shouldn't be, right? It's like nobody wants to do a bad job.
No.
And if they're making a mistake, it's not because they wanted to make a mistake or something. You know, they had a bad execution error or whatever.
And we're all moving so fast, and sometimes you're typing on your phone and you might fire off a Slack message and not realize the way it lands on the other side. And so I think it's just really important to keep reminding people that sometimes we're busy, and sometimes that short message didn't really mean what you thought it might mean when you're sitting at your laptop and have time to digest it. So, and yeah, wired for fun. Givebutter is full of puns. You know, we really aim to make fundraising fun. I think, you know, early on, there was a debate of like, do people take us seriously? Do nonprofits who are so serious about their work take Givebutter seriously? And I'm like, nonprofits want to have fun. Like, they want giving to be fun and approachable and accessible, and I think Givebutter does that. We also just released a mascot.
You have a new new mascot?
New mascot.
What's the new mascot?
It's Mr. Butter.
Mr. Butter.
He's very fun. He knows all about giving. He shows up at our events, and you can check him out on our Instagram too.
What is the shape like? What kind of butter?
A butter
slice.
A butter slice. He has a butter slice for a head. And all of our teammates we call butter slices.
Okay, awesome. So pretty fun when you can build the culture from the ground up. But you guys had an integration with another company.
Yeah.
We Are for Good.
Yes.
So now you've got a different culture that you've got to blend into your culture. How did that happen, and how is it different when you're trying to change a culture versus build a culture?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I do have to say, We Are for Good is a small team. They were 3 employees when we brought them on. So it was a fun integration. It was a really good integration. They've been partners and friends and part of our community for a really long time. So really, you know, the first box that we checked was like, are they going to integrate well with our culture? And like 100 times over. And I think there is a really strong narrative in the nonprofit community right now, especially given some of the macroeconomic events. We've seen what's happening in California with the AGs there. Trust is so important in a team culture, but also with our customers and with nonprofits. They want to trust the platform that they're using with their funds, and they want to trust that we're treating their donors well. And We Are for Good was our connection, another one of our connections to the community that just felt so right at the time, and it married perfectly that they love emojis, they love being our Slack channels. So it's been a ton of fun to integrate them, and a learning experience for all of us.
Right. I just want to double down that all the money that you guys, because you talk about trust, both trust within your clients who are the nonprofits, but also trust that they have in you that you're going to take care of the people giving them money. Yeah. So that's got to be a super important relationship and a super important bar. And as you said, all the money that goes into your platform for the nonprofit goes to the nonprofit, right?
Yes, correct.
That's awesome. What do you think of the show here? You've been here for a couple of days, just came off your panel. What are you feeling on the vibe here of running remote?
Good, I love it. I love the conversations around being remote right now. And I just did a panel on running a remote team in an AI world. And when I first got that topic, I was like, wow, this is, in my head, I was like, this is kind of a stretch. And then I was like, no, this is so important right now. I think there's a convergence of remote went through a couple of iterations, and right now with AI, with a lot of the change management we're navigating, finding moments of connection is so important. So conferences like this are really important, but also sharing ideas of how we build connections within our team is just even more important now.
Right. And how's the AI message resonating with you? Because we've talked to, I think it was Brian Elliott was the one who really codified it for me, that, the same behaviors and management practices that make managing distributed teams work are the same kind of management behaviors and philosophies that make AI adoption work in terms of risk-taking and being supportive and group learning and sharing and trying and failing sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's really those same type of characteristics, because today, for a lot of companies, trying to increase their AI adoption within their workforce is their number one priority, so they can just speed up that efficiency.
Yeah. I think it's a really cool moment for us to all kind of get caught flat-footed and realize, hey, we're all learning this new thing together. And it's created a lot of really cool opportunities for leaders at our company to kind of humble themselves, go and talk to AI champions in their company that are doing really cool things and say, hey, I want to learn from you. And so that's been really great. I talked about how, especially in a remote world, like it is even more important for a manager to PR for their teams. And what a great opportunity when you've got direct reports on your teams that are vibe coding chatbots and all this really sophisticated stuff. What a great moment for you to champion their work and just build confidence in that direct report. I think it's cyclical, and AI is just a really new, cool tool that we're all trying to figure out how to embrace. Yeah, it's great moments for show and tell.
Awesome. Well, Lucy, thanks for taking a minute out of your busy day to stop by, and congratulations, $10 billion. That's a significant impact on the world, on a lot of organizations.
It's a lot of money for change makers, and we really love that.
It's got to make you feel great.
Yeah, it does.
All righty.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. She's Lucy, I'm Jeff. We're Work 20XX. We're running remote in Austin. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. It was easy.
Easy. Easy peasy.